Hello, my beautiful friends. I'm 4 minutes late. I'm so sorry, but my name is Chris Farah. Welcome to my YouTube, where today I will be talking with you about 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. This is season 7. We are in episode 2. My goodness gracious. It was a good episode. It was a good episode. I'm like so afraid for when Angela comes. I'm just like terrified for it. If you don't know, I will not be talking about Ed, since he's a nightmare person who is in a relationship with an American person that is from the same town he's in. So I don't understand why they're on the show. And they're not even married yet. So we're not happily ever after with them. Nothing of them makes sense. Also, I hate him. Also, guess what? No one wants to see Ed, because even in like the moments of me fast forwarding his segment, what I can tell is that like no one wants to see his no one wants to see him or his relationship either on or off TV. Like even his own friends are like, absolutely not. No thanks you. I just don't care about you. I will say that like I was fast forwarding them, and I fast forwarded their whole entire segment, right? And then when I got to the previews of the next episode, I had to I was just watching the previews for the next episode, and in the next episode, Big Ed is like taking whatever, God bless, pictures of a model, and like I guess whatever his girlfriend's name is like trying to, I don't know, apprentice him as if he's fucking Annie Leibovitz. Okay, God bless. Okay, or he's Gil Bensimal. This person is not. Okay, but I love one part because the only part I'm going to talk about is in the preview. She's like looking at the pictures he took, and she's like, this person has no neck, talking about the model. And I want to be like, yeah, the photographer has no neck. Like, I don't think Ed knows necks exist even. Also, if like having no neck bothers you in any sort of way, like don't marry this person. He's necklace. He's not a necklace, like a beautiful pearl necklace. He's like neckless, less of a neck. Okay. So I hate it. Did you all hear he was running for a governor of California? I mean, literally, what a shit show. Like everyone runs for governor of California. Like porn stars and Angeline, like those aren't the same things, but literally not like there was the Mary Carey person that ran. That's what I meant. Okay. Great. So I am so excited to see all my friends. Hi. Hey. Who? Yes. Hi. Into it. Hi, baby Bill. Yay. I love you guys so much. Okay, but yeah, I thought it was a good episode, and we'll get into it. Sozies wozies. Okay, so let me get to my notes. So just in case you guys want to know, and you don't, and I'm sure you do know, which is the following. I'm so excited to talk about this season, and I will be talking about this episode, obviously, on my YouTube channel. Well, that's what's happening right now, boo. Hi, get in. Happy Labor Day. But also, Wa and I have already released the recap of this on our Patreon that we did together. So that's already been up on Patreon. We also watched the House of Hammer Discovery Plus docuseries that's on Army Hammer. Trigger warning. Haha. Horrible shit there. But we watched all 3 episodes for you babes. So we'll be releasing them on DocuSweeties, which is the podcast Wa and I do. So right now on DocuSweeties, the actual podcast that's released, we do have Love After Lockup, the episode from Friday. And today, hopefully, we'll be putting up this episode. I'll be talking about HEA with Wa and the House of Hammer. That's on the free feed DocuSweeties. Of course, if you'd like to give us $10 a month, you'll join our Patreon, and then you'll see the live streams, and you'll get them unedited the moment we're done. So those all exist, okay? Let's get into it, though. Let's start with, I'm going to try to keep some peeps for later. So let's start with Yara and Jovi. So Yara, after, having her like hot girl dinner with her like friends, her new friends, she and Jovi are going to go wine tasting. And I was like so excited because, I like wine tasting and I think it's really like a beautiful, fun activity. And like, I don't even know what would wine tasting in Louisiana be like? Such a different climate. It's like hot, it's like muggy, it's like so humid, but like grapes grow down there, like what kind of grapes? I would assume you're going to have a lot of ripe fruits. Little sommelier stuff. The hotter a climate is, the more luscious and juicy fruits come from that. So the colder a climate is, you get like lemon or lime, and then we get in maybe some stone fruits. And this is like, okay, this is white wine I'm talking about. So in the colder climate whites, you'll get like lemon, lime as like your fruit characteristics. You'll get into stone fruit, which would be like nectarine, pear, that kind of thing. Grapefruit, go back to citrus, happens early on. Citrus, stone fruit. And then as you get into hotter climates and or the berry has time to deeply ripen, you get into okay, for whites, it would be like pineapple, guava, that kind of stuff. It's interesting how the notes change. Wine is such an interesting science. But same thing for reds. So you'll get into like, plums, that kind of like raisin things, like almost just like really, really ripe fruits at the end, cherries and berries in the middle, and then, like from whatnot. So gang's all here. Hi, baby boos. Yes. I just watched the first Arnie episode, Ramsterdam. I mean, listen, I watched, I love you guys. I watched episode 1 and 2 of House of Hammer over the phone with my cousin Monique. We're in different places. We would just like, we're like very good now at timing, pushing play, and then trying to like get on the exact same second of like sounds. So we can just watch it and be like, and you really, watching it alone is horrifying as a woman. And having a friend to talk to is good. Like literally watched 2 episodes in a row, and we had one more episode left that it was like 11. We were both like, we got to watch something else and we got to go to bed tonight. It's horrible. It's really bad. So I'm so happy all my friends are here. Is this a good time for you? I really appreciate if it is. Yeah, so back to Yara and Jovi. I didn't, Yara's friends, like one is the older one and one is like the person that we'll never see again. And the older one's like she's been around the block and she's like, she comes with big sis energy, which I don't mind, but I also just felt like they were sort of like, God, I keep wanting to like pick the perfect word for them. It's like a version of superficial and God, I keep forgetting. I'm going to like write down that word. I know I'm speaking. Can you help me at all? Oh my God. My nephew or my niece just tried to like FaceTime me. It's like, wait one second. I'm going to fucking find it. This is making me crazy. Synonym for superficial. Okay. Shallow would be a good one. They're very shallow. One-dimensional? No. It's just, yeah, there was just that kind of energy of like, you're hotter. That just like, that doesn't like just rubs me the wrong way. And it's not that I don't think that Yara is hotter than Jovi. Of course I do. But like, he's so lucky. But like, I just don't want that energy around my girl Yara, who I really like. And I feel like she's not that. I feel like she has a depth to her that those ladies like, whatever, vapid. Yeah, it's very vapid. They are just, I don't know. I know that I'm a vain person, right? Like I love superficial shit. I keep thinking about that, like some part of like me doing Vanity Fair will be like, and I might write this down, is like, I feel like I'm a deep person that enjoys superficial things, or I can talk deep about superficial things. I like makeup and stuff like that. And I don't mind talking about like plastic surgery and stuff like that. I've never had plastic surgery on my body. I had obviously weight loss surgery, which I'm very open about, and I've had Botox and a little filler in my face. When I say filler in my face, I had to put some in my cheeks because when I lost a lot of weight, it made me look like this. So that's where I've gotten some filler. Like, if you don't know, I don't know if you would ever notice it. I can't get any in my lips ever because it'll be very obvious. And I'm not gonna ever get a nose job, and unless my nose just grows like super, super big when I'm like 60. I'm not quite sure. But at the same time, it's like I want women to feel beautiful, and I think that whatever they want to do to feel their best is like what it is. We do a lot of things all the time to feel our best because there is a connection between mind and body, and the way that you feel and the way that you look at yourself is all really important. So they're going to go on this wine tasting trip. They strap Mila in, and Mila's wearing like 7 bows in her hair, honey. You know that like Yara has just like made her little pretty princess. I love it. Mila's face is she always looks very, very serious. She's got a serious look to her, like I think that she is going through like her stage of independence as a toddler. And I think that she's like very funny. I think that she's like a funny little girl. I think she like has a personality that I would enjoy watching. Yara says that she's like a little Jovi, which I thought was interesting. So they get into the winery and, they're like tasting things, and they're like, oh, this is like, our version of like, I think champagne or whatever, because they can't call it champagne. It's not in France. And instead of just like trying this and trying that, Jovi's like, great, I'll buy a bottle of that. And like, Yara's like, it's not how you wine taste. But, they're like having a talk in the vineyard. It's beautiful. Like I love, it's outdoors. I think it's nice. And they start talking about boobs, and Yara had expressed that Jovi was unhappy with her boobs or had made a comment about her boobs to her, which made her feel obviously shitty. But also I think that Yara, like wants to look a certain way. And so she also probably isn't, happy with them either or whatever. And the truth of the matter is, I'm going to say that like, they're probably great boobs. Like I would probably take them, whatever in a heartbeat. But I think that when you are used to looking a certain way pre-kids, it must be weird, especially when you're young, to realize that you look different now. And I get that like breastfeeding, takes all the milk away or all the booby juice. I've never had kids, is that obvious? And in this situation, Jovi's like, well, like I like them, they're good enough for me. And Yara's like, yeah, but I'm not happy and they look different, right? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, but my friends, all have perfect boobs. He's like, well, don't do it for your friends. It's like, I don't want you to start getting plastic surgery before your friends. And a little low key were like, well, Jovi, too late. I mean, Yara came to you having had plastic surgery. Yara, and I love her for sure, because we've seen pictures, has a nose job, has like filler, and I mean lip filler and cheek filler. And she has lip filler in this scene. I can tell because you can see lip filler not only when people get it in their lips, if they do it too much, but it actually somehow migrates to like this area, like the area above your lip. And you can see it like swollen and up. Lip filler is very interesting, like how sometimes it looks great and sometimes it migrates. I don't know if that's just like going to filler peeps and not like doctors, or just wanting a certain look, God bless. So anyway, but having said that, no shame. It's just that this wouldn't be the first thing she's gone under the knife for. It isn't like Yara's like, a nun when it comes to plastic surgery, and these like 2 broads like talked her into it. No. But then Jovi's like, oh, well, also, I like fake boobs. I don't mind plastic fake boobs. And when he said that, it was like, duh, duh, of course, really? Really, Jovi? Yeah, of course you like fake boobs. First of all, I'm not going to just say Jovi does, I think a lot of people like fake boobs. A lot of people like fake boobs, men and women. A lot of women like the look of overtly fake boobs, right? Like we can say Larissa and stuff. There's definitely like across the board spectrums of boob implants, like there's like the teardrop underneath the muscle one that's kind of like shaped like a little more natch. And of course, there's like basketballs. And I mean, Jovi is like a lifelong stripper supporter. I mean, he loves them, and so I think that specifically if you have spent a lot of your like young formative years looking up at a stripper and seeing, like a body that may or may not be enhanced. I'm not saying every stripper has enhanced bodies. Like I have definitely seen strippers with like small natural boobs, and I've definitely seen strippers with not that, whatever. But I do feel like most of the time, if people are exotic dancers and strippers, if they do get breast implants, I think they usually probably are going to go for bigger and higher. And so Jovi has equated that with a taste that he enjoys. And I don't think he's wrong for that. And I don't think that he's alone in that, but it was, I think we all LOL'd when he said that. Like, I like fake boobs. Like, I know you will. Of course you would, Jovi. Not a newsflash. Okay. Um, so, okay. So, three things. Oh, wait. Oh, I'll talk about that too. Three things Jovi loves: beer, fake boobs, and glitter. Bourbon Street, honey. Yeah. So they have this conversation, and I was like, is this season going to include like her getting her boobs done? I think that she's going to get her boobs done already. Like, I think that Yara is the type of person that doesn't shy away from plastic surgery. And so she wants her boobs done. She's absolutely going to get them. Now, in my mind, I'm like, okay, but you can tell me, ladies, should she wait for should she is she going to have another child, do you think? And if so, should she wait to like have that other kid and then breastfeed the other kid and then get the boob job? Or if you get a boob job and then you like have a child and you nurse them, do they just go back, like are they just perfect all the time? If you get a boob job and so you get bigger boobs and then those bigger boobs make even bigger milk, then you're going to, or bigger milk, make milk and then become bigger. Does it hurt? Seems like, how do you stretch your skin like that? Jovi has put 5 strippers through college. LSU, go Tigers. Like, yeah, I'm like in my mind, I was like, do you want to wait? Are you gonna, do you want to just like get all done, pump them all out, and then get the boob job? But I also think that, it's like for some reason, certain, I don't know why, certain surgeries scare me. And I wouldn't get a boob um, implant. I have really huge natural boobs, like I have naturally big boobs. My boobs look like I've already nursed. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been looking like I've nursed. Like I turned 14 and I got like big ass boobs, and then like they were never sitting high. That is, the shape of them is like a natural like ooh, like, or not like that, but like I don't know, they're just a little low hanging fruit, they are not the pretty princess fruit that I once talked of. I don't mind them though. Like I kind of like them. Sometimes I'm like, oh, the only time I do mind my boobs and or the shape of them is when I want to wear something that is backless, you know, or has like, you know, Am I still here? What in God's bless just happened? I am so sorry. On my end, it literally just it had taken out my visuals, and then I was like, I think that it can still hear me, and then I realized I wasn't even getting any comments, and then like it. I don't know if the internet went out, babes, but I'm back. Okay, so I'm so sorry, but I'm happy to see that you guys can see me too. And we were talking about my favorite subject, boobs. Anyway, so if I had a boob job, it had to be like a lift, is what I was gonna try and get to, you know? And if I had a lift, like, it's like it's just that they really like go in. They really go in, and they just like cut out your nipple and your areola and like put that somewhere and then like cut and just like put it all back together and then just like take the nipple and like put it back. I don't know why that is, to me, like incredibly scary. Plastic surgery scares me. Like when I think of like what a facelift entails, like, no, just like go ahead and cut. Just go ahead and cut in my hair all of this, and yeah, go around my ear back here, and then just ooh, like that also is horrifying. But lipo doesn't seem that bad. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm so sorry. Literally, just from my side, it will take out my face and then completely just take me out of StreamYard. And I'm, obviously upset. So God bless. But we're trying this one more time, and I switched Wi-Fi networks. And if this happens again, then I might just try and do it through YouTube, and we'll just see. All right, babes. Yeah. Let me say this. My cousins did what, boob jobs. I have a lot of people in my life that got boob lifts, and they are incredibly happy with it. Incredibly happy, which is, and I guess if you just don't think about it, you're just like, I'm going to be under. And yeah, I'm going to have like, like bandages on, and then I wake up and it's fine. And not fine, but like there's some scarring, and then you like that heals, and there's like Mederma for that, and you can get like lasers over the scars to like make them right. The funny thing is, one time I was with someone, don't worry, I will talk about this episode 27 minutes in. One time I was with someone who thought I got a boob job, which is hilarious because again, my boobs are not like super high, but he thought I did just because like the crease underneath your boobs was like, it looked like a scar, but it's just the crease. Anyway, so you never know. But God, I cannot believe that's just so many times of me doing that. Okay. So let me open my things. So, after this boob conversation, and I think that she's going to get it, then we have this other conversation, which is sad, which is basically this. We all know that Jovi works a job where he's like gone for a month and then back for a month, okay? And we also know that Jovi has a mom named Gwen, Mrs. Gwen. And we got to see like Mrs. Gwen and Yara's like relationship first season, which was Yara, I won't be told what's what. And, Mrs. Gwen had like a whole ass Jovi's dad, or I forgot if that's Jovi's dad or like Mrs. Gwen's husband. I forgot. That person was so annoying. Basically being like, Yara, like, how do we know that you don't want to just like come to America and just like take our son? And like Yara is being like, oh, it's because I wish I wasn't here. Because I very much want to be back in the Ukraine. Honey, I'm happy there. This is gross. I'm in Louisiana, like, I'm in Bourbon Street. I don't like it. And I like New Orleans, by the way. I think New Orleans is like awesome. And my whole family is from Louisiana, Kinder specifically, Oakdale and Kinder, which is like middle Louisiana. One of the reasons why I love Britney Spears. And we're kindred spirits. Kinder red spirits. Mm-hmm. Small Kinder joke, honey. Kinder, again, can you believe that there's a town in Louisiana called Kinder? But my grandmother's from Oakdale, which is, hilarious because she was born on the boat coming from Syria and then landed in Oakdale. And so she had siblings that were born in Syria, greater Syria, before it was like Syria, Lebanon before. But she knew Arabic because like her whole household, was Arabs, but she had a Southern accent her whole life. So it was like, do you want some hummus, honey? I miss her so much, Grandma Mary. So basically, Yara is going to get that done. But anyway, so so this conversation with Jovi about Mrs. Gwen is this. When Jovi was gone, Yara is like literally all by herself with a brand new baby. And she thought that family meant that Jovi's mom would be like there with her. Like that Jovi's mom knew that like Yara had nobody, and that Jovi's mom would be excited to spend time with Mila and such. But as well as I'm sure Yara also wanted help. So it was probably like she wished that Miss Gwen would come, only be too happy to come and spend time with her grandchild, and also let Yara do Yara things, which is like manicures and getting her hair done and maybe going to work out, like all of that stuff. She probably would have enjoyed having like a little like free babysitter, and Mrs. Gwen lives 3 hours away and doesn't really have like that kind of like old country. I'm going to say old country because again, I'm Arab, but like, or that older mentality, which it feels ethnic or cultural in some way, that families come together and raise kids in such a way that like, when you have a baby, the women in your family, like your grandmothers on both sides, or your sisters or your aunts or whatever, like come over and like just play with the baby. And if you're like, yeah, auntie, can I just like, I'm going to go and like, run some errands, the aunt's like, yeah, go. Let me be with this baby, and like maybe there's another grandma there like making food and there's just like a communalness, right? A family communalness. But Yara didn't get that vibe and she has no one. And Mrs. Gwen, like when Jovi wasn't there, wasn't trying to help her out. Now, this just feels like a cultural divide to me. This feels like, as well as a cultural divide, and I guess she has a choice of what she wants to do, and she does live 3 hours away. And so here's Lala, and I get it, right? Lala thinks Mrs. Gwen said what she said. She ain't no babysitter. I mean, yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, how many kids do you have? How many babies do you have? How many grandchildren do you have? Are you just like so involved in your various like knitting and like bridge games that like you might not be a nanny, but you are a grandmother and you know that your son is gone for a month and you know that he brought his wife over here that's the mother of his child and she has no one. And she, like, I think it's harsh, but I think that we're speaking to ideas of responsibility and family obligations in a way that I understand it differently than other people. I think that when you are a mom, and I know I'm not a mom, but I think that when you're a mom and then you turn to be a grandmother, unless you really are just like, I'm out, this isn't my life, I want to be a free, independent person, I want to like travel, like I raised my babies and I'm done. I think it's kind of sad because like your grandchildren are beautiful and this is a baby that's not going to be a baby for very long. It saddens me that Mrs. Gwen isn't more like, yeah, I want to hang out with Milo. Yeah, you can go. I get to spend time with my grandchild. I don't know. And Yara didn't want Gwen to come for Christmas and wanted them to leave early. She rebuffed Gwen's help. It's a great point. Yeah, you're right. That goes against family and obligations too. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like, it's your grandchild. I mean, you best know that like, if I have a baby, like my dad's gonna be taking care of that baby almost as much as me. No, I'm just kidding, but kind of, but like if he's gonna be my, whatever babysitter for me, sure. He has to know that, he has to work too. So I don't know exactly how that's going to happen, but, Yara acted like she did not want Miss Gwen around much. Miss Gwen has old school values. You are a mother first. Yoga, manicures, pedicures, and working out is put on hold. Is that old? I mean, there's one thing that was just like, Yara doesn't have anyone though. You know what I'm saying? There's no one. So it's like, I think that a woman should have, she has no support system. And I guess just as a mother to know, maybe Miss Gwen didn't have a support system. I mean, Jovi's been doing what his dad's been doing. And I wonder if this is a thing where Miss Gwen was like, yeah, my husband was gone a month out of the time too. And I didn't have maybe Jovi's grandmother on both sides didn't help. Obviously, like there wasn't this thing that like grandmothers and women in the family would come together and like communal raise people. Like it would just be, maybe she is from a situation where she got no help and she doesn't feel like that Yara needs help too. But still I'd be like, well, Miss Gwen, there's gotta be a situation where like you do understand that Yara doesn't even have a soul of her family within 10,000 miles. Maybe less, 7,000 miles. Oh my God. Grandkids are to give you pedicures, manicures, and massage. Yeah, if you treat them right. If you train them right. Treat them and train them. I assumed that the relationship had grown since then. I assumed too, because I thought that they liked each other. Oh, Renee. I like Yara, but I was a single mom and worked full time. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. Cry me, cry me. Cry me, cry me. Okay, that's fine. Hire a babysitter. All right, babes. Yeah. Yeah. They can, I mean, yeah, they can hire friends to come on and tell her what to do. I guess they can also hire a babysitter. By the way, now I've talked about one couple for 40 minutes because I had shitty reception problems. We got to move on. Libby and Andrei. So Libby and Andrei are having a little housewarming party for them. They've gotten it professionally catered, and the catering looks great. You know, like I love a cheese and charcuterie board, and you know they have them in little popovers and little like fun cups, and like like they're putting on their best airs to impress, and they want to impress the people in their lives that they feel are stand-up citizens, that are workers and earners and people that put forth positive energy in their own lives and move forward, evolve, and that could possibly also help them get to different goals in their own work lives. And Andrei is just like real verbal about it, but that's a normal thing, like we want to surround ourselves with healthy, happy, successful people. And I mean successful in whatever way that means. We want people that can like get up in the morning and like get a job and like, you know, are good citizens. I don't know what to tell you. Like I don't think that Charlie is a good citizen, but like I think Charlie litters like easily. Like there isn't like anything that Charlie eats in his car that he like doesn't just like throw out the window when it's done. You know what I'm saying? Like for sure. And he definitely never returns a shopping cart, nor does his wife. And you can put me on record. So, by the way, side note is OnlyFans released their like financial documents to say like, whatever, like how much money like people are making. And Black China of like Robert Kardashian's ex and also Tyga's ex, Tyga. I always call him Tyga. It's from Winnie the Pooh. Tyga's ex makes like $25 million a month. Bella Thorne makes like a lot. Charlie's wife is on Only Children. That's me. I'm so sorry. My mind's like all over the place for some reason. It made me really, really sad that I had such issues. So Charlie's wife is on OnlyFans and she calls herself like part of the top, like, I don't know, a small percentage, like top 3%. So I'm just like, how much money are you making? Now, it cannot possibly be Black China's money. Like 20, there's not one morsel of a fiber of a cell in my soul that like could think that many people want that trashy woman's pictures just crouched on like stained carpet with like sickled feet. I hate that kind of shit, and they all do it. Becky and Buki too. But anyway, so they have to invite Becky and Buki and Libby's family, but like Andrei is like, that's gross. So he doesn't want family drama, but they do come, and Libby like says hi to her dad. She's like, hi, Dada. Now I'll tell you this right now. I unfortunately call my dad Daddy. Like, hi, Daddy. And I know that that's from, I try not to do it in public. I try and always label my dad if I'm with him as my dad, because we are sometimes in Newport Beach, which is a part of Orange County that there's many younger people and older people together, hint, hint, hint. And so I always am very excited to like tell every waitress if I'm having any sort of meal with my dad that it's my dad. But I also like try and never use the word daddy in public because I know it looks crazy for like a grown ass someone to be like, daddy. But it also is a little crazy for a grown ass someone to be on TV being like, hi, Dada. Dada. You know what I'm saying? God bless. So they have a weird word for like what they're making their baby call. Libby's dad too. It's like not Papa, like Papo or something. I'm not quite sure. Becky and Buki come and they're like, who are these people? Like, we don't even know these people. Like, we hate everything. We're like, Becky and Buki are kind of like the like Muppet characters of the two old men that like sit in the opera and like always like have stuff to say. So in this scene, the mom is there with also we're going to be introduced to a woman who is married to a guy that does like insurance or mortgage work that like Andrei likes. The mom is wearing something that she picked up from like a resort wear boutique with a lot of colors and like a neckline. You know, it's so Florida. And the other woman is wearing like a leopard, no, it's cheetah print, big bluesy blues blouse with like her shoulders down. And Libby's like, I want to show you the house. Like, let me show you my baby's room. And so she shows them the baby's room, and it's okay. It's just that this baby's room, they got the smallest dollhouse bed for this baby. This baby's going to be like out of that bed in 2 seconds. And there's like nothing on the walls. Like, there's no stencils. There's no like pictures. And maybe they just moved in, but like, why are you showing it off yet? And also, how long does it take to get like a nursery together? They're like, it's pink. It's like, we really wanted colors of like light pink and gold. They definitely like gold and white together, which I get, you know? And like, I also want to say that I really do enjoy the backsplash in the kitchen. You know, I'm talking about in the kitchen, they have is it backsplash? Yeah. Where you can like go and get like the area that's between like the cabinets and the shelves. You know? Anyway, so they show off this room that I'm just like surprised about because like Libby's whole family is like so, you know, like we want to be so rich feeling and looking, and like this room isn't done. It has like a bed. It looks like you got it from, you know, I don't know, just like very much online. Like, and she's so and then, but the one feature of the baby's room is like they have this feather chandelier, which Wah didn't like. Wah was like, how do you clean it? And I was like, well, I don't really care about cleaning it. I mean, you clean it by getting one of those like Swiffers and the dust just like goes to the Swiffer. You just like touch it over. I mean, I don't know. Very home goods. I actually didn't mind the feather chandelier. Okay. But then Libby's like, and we're not done. Let's take you to the other room. Look at this room. And like Becky walks in and is like, oh, this room is great for so many activities. In my mind, I was like, OnlyFans. She was like, literally being like, I can squat in this corner and take a picture. I could also, you know, like hike a leg up on this keyboard and take a picture, you know, like of my birth canal, you know, God bless. It's not that I don't like people that want to take their sexuality into their own hands. It's just that I also think it's funny when you won't talk about it, but you want to pretend that like you make all your money from like real estate ventures. You're like on a show. Anyway, so God bless. There is a keyboard at the corner, and after like the activities line, Libby's like, well, activities, thank you for bringing that up. I am going to be using this as my studio. It was like very Melissa Gorga for me of Real Housewives of New Jersey, you know, like I'm gonna put a studio in my house. Okay. I always think like, what did that studio turn into? Because Melissa Gorga released On Display and like maybe one other song, and we haven't heard a Melissa Gorga bop in a minute. Like that studio is like what, the child's sports room now? Like, you know, like, is there like cobwebs in that room, or like have they already made it over? Anyway, because I keep thinking they're trying like, I always feel like the Gorgas have tried to put their house on the market and it hasn't like never sold, right? Or there's like some shadiness about it. So anyway, so Libby's like, I'm going to do the thing that I always wanted to do, which is sing, you know, and this mortgage wife is like, sing? I'm a professional singer. Well, why don't you sing a couple of notes right now? And Libby's like, I'm not warmed up. You could have done something. We're not telling you to like hit whistle notes. If you can sing, you can kind of always sing. Like you don't have to sing a hard song. Literally, as we know, Libby wants to sing, as she says, nursery rhymes. She literally could have been like, okay, Just like, I'm not going to like, I'll just give you a little something so you know that I can sing. Because Libby can sing, which is crazy. So yeah, just like, okay. Sing, sing a song, sing out loud, sing out strong. Okay, great. Back to the party. You know, like Libby can't sing. Here's the thing. So in this moment, I'll tell you. When she wanted to sing last week, I did find a like clip of her singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow to her baby. And it wasn't bad. Like, it was not bad. Like, I'm not going to be like a bitter bitch. Like, I'm not saying that she's Mariah, but I'm definitely saying that she's better than like most people that are on reality shows that can sing. She could sing. Okay. So then she released like her singing LeAnn Rimes' Blue. Is that what a song's called? Like, Blue, that song. And when I heard it, I was like, holy shit, like that's LeAnn Rimes. That's not her. Like, why is she pretending to like sing LeAnn Rimes? But then I should have taken a picture of it. And it's probably on Mary Pants or like 98 Melanated Way if you want to see it. But basically, she has a picture of her she has a video of her in the recording studio, which is not the room that she's saying is her studio. It's definitely a real recording studio, like singing that song, and she's singing it. And it's like, she sounds good. And by the way, I was completely right. I knew that she'd be singing country. Come on. And then so people came so Libby released this video that I said sounded like LeAnn Rimes. And when it was the first video, it was just her like lip syncing to her own song. And then I guess people were like, that's LeAnn Rimes. And LeAnn Rimes commented like, that's not me. And then Libby released the video of her like showing her in the studio singing it live. I mean, telling you she can sing. She can sing. She sings good in that Blue song. I mean, she sings good. She sings just like LeAnn Rimes does. Now, listen, if you want to be a professional singer, you have to have your own sound and whatever, and like be able to emote a song and make it yours, you know? And if you are a good technical singer, you know, like there's just different ways of hitting something. Like, she can sing that song like LeAnn Rimes. Not as good as LeAnn Rimes, but like if Libby was at a county fair and she sang that song, she'd get like applause. So very soon, my guess. Oh, you have to leave us? No. Whenever I hear that a person on reality TV is becoming a singer, I think of Melissa Gorga's On Display, On Display, On Display, each and every day, me too. Melissa Gorga could not sing at all. She had a horrible voice. And I mean, really bad. I mean, it's auto-tuned within an inch of its life, and it would sound bad. Like, it was crazy, you know? Yeah, she'd like be on The Voice and she would get like maybe one chair. Well, I don't know if she would get a chair, because the thing about it is her voice is beautifully bland. It's technically great. No, it's technically good and beautifully bland. It's just, yeah, she sounds just like the person singing the actual song. But if you actually heard that person live sing the song, you'd be like, oh, well, I'll take that person over this person. Okay, so the professional singer has like a lot to like shade her about that. Like, well, if you're a professional singer, you can just sing like I can. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was also weird that Libby like knows that she's on a television show, and like why she wouldn't have like assumed that like at any time someone can now ask her to sing and she should probably just like have a little something prepared. Having said that, you know that sometimes I do comedy and I literally hate it. If people ask me what I do, and I almost don't, I actually, you know what? I'm glad I'm out saying this out loud. It really is on me. I'll no longer tell people I am a comedian. I'll just say I'm an actress, because inevitably, if I say both things have horrible follow-up questions. So if I say I'm a comedian, they'll be like, oh, tell me a joke. And I'll be like, no, you didn't pay me. No. And I don't want to just like tell a joke. Also, I'm not like a knock joke person. I'm like a funny story person. I don't want to have to tell you a whole funny story. I don't care enough about you, you know? And also and then if you say you're an actress, then you get inevitably like, well, do I have anything you've been on? Which, yes, I have things that people would know that I've been on. But like either way, that's like, it's such a weird thing to say. Like, oh, you sell insurance? What was your quote last month? I don't know about insurance, obviously. Oh, you are a venture capitalist? How much money do you raise all the time? How much money is in your bank account? It's just a weird, I don't know. Anyway, so when Libby doesn't sing and she's like, yeah, I'll just be like doing nursery rhymes, Buki laughs, she also says that like it's just a thing her and her daughter want to do and that her daughter likes to sing. It just makes me feel like, yeah, I think that literally Libby means this. She wants a place to record TikToks. She would like to just like make some tunes of royalty-free music, because a lot of like nursery rhymes are like royalty-free because they're just so old and like who knows when they were actually made or invented. Use those songs and make some easy money on like TikTok or YouTube. Maybe release an album. She's already on a show. And it beats OnlyFans probably for her. It's not bad. Also, the nursery rhyme things makes me realize that Libby knows that she's not going to be like Yeba. I don't know. Yeba's obviously my favorite singer right now. But you know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain amount of awareness, the fact that she wants to sing nursery rhymes, that people are coming for her about nursery rhymes, but I want to be like, oh, it's because she's a mom and she knows she's not going to like release, like Grammy award winning records. She wants to like make money and get out. Anyway, so then she's like, let's drink, Now, having said this, we've talked a lot about Libby's family and the drinking or whatever. At this point in this studio, her mom already looks like she's been drinking. The hair is messy. The lipstick is off. Like it's so unfortunate that, because I do like drinking, but it is unfortunate that drinking really makes you look horrible. Like it makes you look bad during the moments of you being like, I'm not saying it makes you look bad because like you're drinking. It's just that as you get progressively tipsier, it shows. You get puffy. You're like sweaty. You're like, like you're clammy. Like inevitably your hair is like, you have no like, it's just, I don't know why. I wish it didn't. Like it's such a look, right? The mom's been there. So Libby's like, let's go drink more, and they have the stainless champagne flutes. They go back in the kitchen. And this is also a weird point. They had that beautiful caterer there, and then they have pizza boxes there. And we'd be like, when did the pizza boxes come? Also, it's because you were like actually hungry and you like said you were just going to have like bites to eat. But then like now, like as you all are drunk, you're like, we need like substance. So the family's there. It's Chuck. It's obviously not Charlie. It's Libby's mom and like Becky and Buki, and Libby's mom has already been coming hard for like, we wish Charlie was here, and like no one else does. So it was a beautiful party. Yeah, it was so nice. Just drama free. Yeah, it was great and drama free because Charlie wasn't there. And then Charlie's mom was like, no, I think it would be fine if he was there. It's like, no, actually it wouldn't have been. It would have been really bad. And then she's like, I don't understand. You drink all the time. And you were like, not like great in Moldova. I saw you, get wasted. And Andrei was like, I'm not an alcoholic. I had to defend myself from your drunk ass son who your husband wouldn't put in line. Also, you are now in my house. And my wife, your daughter, has already told you we do not want him around. So the fact that you keep bringing it up is bananas. And Becky and Buki are like, yeah, it's bananas. We're on Andrei's side. We like can't believe it. God bless. And Chuck just zips his lips, honey, like he probably has zipped a lip 1 billion times. And Libby's mom is like, no, we all drink. And I don't understand what the problem is. And it's like, yeah, because you're in denial. And she's like, yeah, well, no, but also like we're drinking right now. Like, it's because I'll tell you it. It's because she's a drunk. That's why. That's why she doesn't want to admit that Charlie has a drinking problem, because she has a drinking problem. Sure. If you admit one thing, it's a whole domino effect. So she's pointing fingers left and right, but she's pointing fingers at Andrei, and it's his home, and he has already let it be known what he would enjoy, which is that Charlie not be there. So he starts to raise his voice. Now, a little side note is Wah was like, You can't do that, you know? I was like, yes, you absolutely can. It's in his house. It's in his house that he paid for. She didn't pay for it. Get it right. You can't come and tell this man who, and his wife has already told you that she doesn't want something and then try and tell them in their own home. Nope. Mm-mm. Anyway, so, Renee, I wish Chuck would check Andre. He has the biggest mouth and is so disrespectful to his wife's parents. Chuck didn't check Charlie at Andre and Libby's wedding. Chuck has no balls, or at least if he did have balls, honey hasn't seen them in a very long time. They're like tucked up beneath his like tummy or something. I'm not to tell you, but there's no balls there. Charlie's just like, oh, Charlie. Andre's like, you're advocating for the wrong person, which is true. Yeah, I just said, Pamela, don't talk to the man of the house like you own the house. I don't know. I kind of like a little Dom, and I think that he's in the right. So I don't mind that he's like yelling at, oh, Pamela's her name, Pamela, because Pamela needs to like, Pamela's not hearing it. And also she's drunk. So like, get it out, get them all out. They're a cancer. So I know I'm being mean about them. And I feel like as we watch the end of Family Day Chantel, maybe it's not the end. Maybe like they'll just go on other seasons where it's literally just Family Day Chantel and no longer Pedro. I just feel like Libby's family's like Family Day Libby, Family Day Libby, Family Day Libby. What would they call it? Nursery rhymes and times. No. Becky and Buki take Florida. I don't know. Remember when like there was like I do kind of miss, back to like many other reality shows, I do kind of miss the early days of Kardashians. Like I kind of like the Kim and Khloe take. No, not Kim. It was Khloe and Courtney take meant Miami and stuff. Like those are fun. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Okay, Sumit and Jenny. So this meeting did not go well on the purple couch, honey, baby boos. Like, the mom has been crying, is crying, and is like, I never want to see your face ever again, Sumit. I cannot believe you got married. I can't believe it. I'm so in shock. And we're all like, how? It's a little. Did no one ever translate the title of the show that Sumit is on to Sumit's parents? Were they like, oh, it's a show in America called like 90 Day Beyonce. It's about fans of Beyonce. Like, I don't even know, like, like 90 days of bliss and 400 years of terror. Like, I don't understand what they thought Fiance meant. Were they just like, it's crazy to me for anyone to think that these people have, like, they know. Sorry, Sumit's parents know that they've been on multiple seasons of a show called 90 Day Fiance. And I know they don't speak like perfect English, but someone had to be like, so just, fiance is like betrothed, means like the step before married. It's not girlfriend. It's not like date. So, and they came and lived with them. I just crazily don't understand how she's so shocked to find out that they in fact got married. To me, it seems absolutely bananas. That woman seems crazy. And I think that she is a toxic emotional manipulator. And I hate to see it. I really came hard for Sumit's mom last time when she was like saying that like Jenny has fat arms when that woman's a thick woman herself. So every part of me like isn't into her at all. She's like, I never want to see your face again, or her son. Don't you ever come to our house. You'll never be at our funerals. Take all the love you have for me and give it to her. Like that kind of shit. Like, oh, Yara. Hi. Oh my God. Look at that beautiful tones of your hair. Oh my God. It's so sleek. It's so shiny. Oh, beautiful. Like beautiful highlights you have. Fake storyline in the Mean Girl. So like, is she faking it? I want you to tell me, friends, if you think Sumit's mom is faking this. How can this woman be such a good actor? Put her on the Bollywood screen. I mean, come on. Let's give her, I mean, come on. So anyway, she like berates him, yells at them, like blah blah blue, is just like, I'll never want to see you again. And like, the sister-in-law is like, oh, how could you do this? Or like, why didn't you tell them earlier? And it's like, none of that would have been better. And we kind of fucking did. We absolutely told them when we want to get married, and they said they wouldn't give us a blessing. So like when we said that, we thought that meant that those people knew that we were going to get married. Then the Sumit's parents leave, and Sumit like chases after them and tries to hug them. I don't even know. And like he gets back in, and Jenny, who's like heard all the hoo-ha but like doesn't understand a word, is like, how am I supposed to sit here? And like loses her absolute mind. And it would have been a lot better if she just hadn't been there. She had no reason to be there. Her face and her presence made Sumit's mom unhappy. Half of me is like, I wonder what would have happened if she hadn't been there and Sumit's mom just had to hear it. I think she still would have been really upset, but like, I think I would have been less upset because like I feel like she put on a whole show to like also disparage and make Jenny feel like shit. Obviously she wanted Jenny to feel like shit because like Jenny tried everything possible to like, in Jenny's mind, make her happy. She brought over chai. She swept. She even tried to like say that she was doing good in Hindu and like whatever, show face. But obviously Sumit's mom was like not having any of it. So Jenny goes crazy now. And then Sumit has to like just deal with one crazy bag of old lady to another. I mean, I don't have to tell you about that. And then Sumit's like, what? Every time you get upset, I have to pamper you? And that part was interesting because I'm like, pamper's the wrong word. Satisfy or like, well, pamper, very much makes me feel like Yara, honey, like where's my pedicure? Like pamper means massages, like pamper means facials in a steam room, like a luxurious robe. Doesn't that sound nice? When's the last time anyone's gotten a foot massage? I want to get a foot massage. That sounds great. I need some pampering. Anyway, so appease would have been a great word. So yeah, he gets on his knees and is just like trying to get onto Jenny. Oops. Getting Jenny on her side. I put this on Do Not Disturb, but for some reason, it's because my cousin called me and she's on a favorite. Okay, so yeah, he doesn't know what to do between two crazy ass people. And we don't know what else is going to happen with them. It seems crazy. Let's move on. Okay, so I think I'm in order now. And I talked about Libby and Andrei. I talked about Sumit and Jenny. I talked about Jovi and Yara. I still have Soulja Boy and Kim. I still have Bilal and Shaeeda. Okay, Soulja Boy and Kim. So, we get a transition of like, Arabic desert music, when they want you to know that you're in the Middle East or some sort of like, Oriental Arabia, like, God bless. And that music goes right into like Soulja Boy hit Drop It Low for Me or whatever. And he himself is dropping low. He's dropping low on his hands and knees and praying to Allah. And then we get kind of like his duality that he is like Muslim, but also Soulja Boy, superstar. And he also says that, his like life's goal is just to be like the most famous man in the world, like Michael Jackson. And I would be like, were you always into Michael Jackson? Or did you like now get into Michael Jackson because that boo of yours, Kambali, like, will forever like he in her heart. So he also says that, listen, why he's in a Kambali? It's because of the love, loyalty, and support. And it's not for the beauty or sexy. And he didn't need to say that. The beauty and sexy part. What he needed to say was this. I appreciate her love and loyalty and support. And I find her beautiful and sexy, which aren't my chief concerns, but they're there. So then we have he goes and has a conversation with his elder brother. And the elder brother's like, "What's up, dude?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've been dating this woman from America." And he's like, "How old is she?" Immediately, because the brother knows. And he's like, 51. The brother's like, "What's wrong with you? You can't be with her. You have to have a kid. You're getting older." And, Soulja Boy is like, "Oh yeah, no, I can totally be with her because I would like have another wife to like have the kid." I kind of want Soulja Boy to be like, "You see, brother, I have a fetish for old white ladies. I like old white ladies of varying degrees of moisture. It makes me happy. I kind of wish you would just say it. I have a thing for them. Maybe it's like because we weren't loved enough by our mother, or maybe because, I don't know, it's a little fetish thing I enjoy. But that's what it is." But he won't say it. He won't even say that he finds her beautiful or sexy. All he'll say is that he wants to marry her for the support. And when he says support, to me, that means money. And loyalty just means that he thinks he can control her and she'll shut up. And not probably be with anyone else sexually, romantically. Which she won't, because she's in love with him. So, yeah, the brother's just like, "I don't know what to do with you." It's like kind of like, it feels kind of like exactly how like everyone in Michael's family treated Michael, which is like looking at him like, "You're weird. Doesn't sit right." Kimbali is picking up Jamal, and I love Jamal, from the airport and bringing him back to spend some quality time, some cute time with her and her mother, who she lives with, Jamal's grandmother. And she says that Jamal and her are really close, that she, obviously was married for like 20 years to Jamal's dad, and that it was really shitty for her and really horrible, but that she stayed because she wanted like Jamal to have like a real normal-esque upbringing, and that later on, when he was an older person, she like let him know like what the situation was, and he was shocked by it. I wonder what Jamal's relationship is like with his dad, or if there's one. So also, when she picks him up from the airport, they're both wearing masks, and she's like facing this way. Okay, she's facing this way, and Jamal comes up and is like, and she's like, "Oh!" But to me, it was like, did it take you that long to recognize your own son? If you look at that scene, it felt like it took like 3 seconds for her to be like, "Jamal!" Like, I know he's wearing a mask, but he has eyes. He's staring at you. Anyway, it was a little scare. I also know as they walk away that they have the exact same shaped legs, but she just has like a different gait, She's been in war, like not just the horrible marriage she was in. So God bless. They go back to the grandma's house, they're like spending some time outside. Jamal is like planting daisies. I don't know what those like yellow flowers are. There's like cat food on a paper plate. There's something about animal like dog food or cat food on a paper plate that I find depressing. Is it because I don't want to eat off a paper plate? I'm like, oh man, poor animal has to as well. And like cat food and dog food is like so like wet. I mean, this food looked wet and didn't look like dry, just like soaking into the paper plate, and then like the dog and cats like licking paper on their mouths. I don't know. There's something depressing about that to me. Anyway. She tells the mother and Jamal that she's going to go to Nigeria and that she's going to meet Usman's mom and she's going to propose. And Jamal's like, "Propose? Isn't that what the man does?" And she's like, "No, I'm going to do it too. I've seen it." And she says that she wants to show Usman that she loves him because he has already shown her how much he loves her. And then that was where I was like, what? No, he hasn't. In what ways? Girl, you were a stan. You went over there. You brought him gifts. You like paid for everything. I definitely feel your love for this person. No, that's abundantly clear. In what world, where has he showed you that he loves you? Because last I checked, he like was talking to someone else, and then he talked to that person after you left, and he was like flirting with her. And then you had the tell-all, and then you have the audacity to say that you think the tell-all brought them closer. I'm so like, what I just really would like press her like, okay, what was the action that made you think that Usman for sure loves you? Because you cannot tell me that he told you that, and that's why. What is it? So we have one more couple left. I'm gonna take a big sip of water. My God, I feel like I'm screaming. Okay. We'll see what happens with them. Bilal and Shaeeda are next. All right. So I will also say this. I do want you guys to hear, please, 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 please. I think it's so interesting the way in which Wa and I perceive the Bilal and Shaeeda and Shaeeda scene. Wa and I had different, when we both came together, we both had different like perceptions of how that went and why. And I understand where Wa's coming from. So I'll tell you how I feel. And then I really want you guys to just like, if you are on the Patreon, you can listen to it right now and go and listen to what Wa said. Or just, we're going to release this episode hopefully within the next couple of hours. And I want you to, I want you to tell me like how you perceived it. Okay, Docu-Sweeties can be found where at Chris L. Farah? Docu-Sweeties can be found on anywhere you listen to podcasts. It's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Spotify, it's on Amazon, it's on Google. It's literally called Docu-Sweeties, as if I tried to make a pun, which I did for docu-series and the fact that we're sometimes nice, even though I feel like this is a particularly probably mean and or like bitchier recap than others. But I really just like, tell me what you think. And I understand where Wa's coming from. So, but let me tell you. So they get into this coffee shop and Bilal and Shai are there, and Shai gets like a tea, and she's like, "Oh my God, I could drink this tea for years." And it did look really, really yummy. It almost looked like a chai latte with like a little cinnamon sprinkled on top, like with like maybe like, I'm thinking like almond milk or like, oh my God, I love good tea lattes, especially because where they are is cold as hell. It's freezing. Now where I am right now, it's 100 billion degrees. It's so hot, like in California right now, that the idea of having any sort of hot anything is just otherworldly. I will tell you this though. Yesterday, I left LA and I stopped through Starbucks and got an egg bite. Oh, I know. And I wanted to get something pumpkin spice. And it's so hot that I did end up getting an iced pumpkin spice latte with oat milk. It was really yummy, but I can only drink a little bit of it because I should have got less squirts of the syrup. It was a little too sweet for me. I am against the ex-wife and I am a first wife. Oh, did anyone guess what the theme song was inspired by? Oh, of Docu-Sweeties? Yeah. Sorry, I'm going back into it. So, I'll tell you. Remind me of that and I'll tell you afterward. I still want to be all over the place. I feel like my mind is all over the place, but I'll tell you at the end because you're right. I never actually told you what it was. And that will be revealed at the end of this. So, but let's go back. So Shaeeda has been upset at Shaeeda since the conversation they had last season of 90 Day Fiance, regular old, where Shaeeda came to Bilal and Shaeeda's house and was basically like, Shaeeda, you have to sign this prenup, and it's because I want to make sure that like his kids are being taken care of. And she's like telling Shaeeda in a very direct way that Shaeeda is coming here with less than. Yeah, she has less than Bilal. So she has more to gain. And Bilal has kids. So she better sign the prenup. And what Shaeeda saw, which was in the place that is now hers, her home, a woman came in and started telling her what to do and being rude about it. And Shaeeda, I think, became like verklempt and like sat in that and was really upset about it. She felt like, you cannot come into my home and tell me what's what. It's not the way it's going to work. Also, like, I have a whole life and you don't know me. And also, get the F out of my house and change your tone. But she didn't say any of that. She was just trying to remain, I think, on camera a little more stagnant. But as I think that she sat and relived that scene, she got upsetter and upsetter. And I think that she felt like Shaeeda had taken on a hostile and bullying tone to her, and that she wasn't able to remedy that or stand up for herself, and it made her feel bad. Fast forward to this scene. Now, I'm pretty sure, again, Noah made this point. We think that this scene that we watched in the coffee shop happened before the tell-all of last season's 90 Day Fiance. Because if you remember, during the tell-all, Shaeeda comes out and Shaeeda won't even look at her. And Sean like calls that out, you know, and I think that that's because this scene happened. Okay, so basically Shaeeda and Shaeeda comes to the coffee shop, sits down, and Shaeeda is very much like, we can talk. And the producers are like, are you going to apologize? She's like, for what? In Shahida's mind, she has no reason to apologize. I think Shaeeda was like, I am his children's mother, and I am not going to let anyone tell me what's what. And I think that it was just basically a power play move between these two women. Now, Shaeeda is, I think, a little more demure and a little more soft-spoken than Shaeeda, right? I think that she is. So I think that Shahida's natural energy, and especially because she's a little defensive in both situations, was incredibly upsetting for Shaeeda. And so Shaeeda, in her perception, is like calling Shahida's tone and behavior words that are subjective, like bullying, aggressive, rage, all of that stuff. I didn't see rage. Aggressive is subjective, you know, like aggressive tone is a subjective thing. Now, Shaeeda sits down and Shaeeda and her try and talk. Wait, let me say. You notice how light it was when they got to the coffee shop and how dark it was when they allegedly left? Great point, which means they probably filmed the scene for a very long time, which, you know, God bless. Bilal was tired at the end. So as they're talking, Shaeeda, having been able to sit on feelings of not having taken care of herself in the moment, comes with some things to say. And one thing she says is, I almost banned you from my home after that conversation. And Shaeeda did not take that well. She's like, your home? And Shaeeda's like, my home. In Shahida's mind, she's like, that's Bilal's home, I think. But what Shaeeda has to understand is it's now Shaeeda's home. To me, that's what she has to understand. Now, what is messy is that Shaeeda wants to prove a point not only to Shaeeda, but to Bilal, which is that Shaeeda came incorrect and wasn't respectful. And she is poking Shaeeda with these words, and Shaeeda fucking falls for it and blows up and is like, You're going to see me change real quick. And then says that she's from Southeast Diego. I don't know if she meant Southeast San Diego or if there's a section of Kansas City, my loves, that's called Diego. I'm from Southern Orange County. Sorry. That's true. I'm from Southern Orange County. I'm from Southern California. And I've been to San Diego. And no, I don't know all the parts of San Diego. And my whole life, if it's supposed to be San Diego, I've never heard of Southeast San Diego as being a hard place to grow up or whatnot. So in my heart of hearts, I'm like, you know what? Let me just look it up, because what the hell is Southeast Diego? I'm just going to see if it's a different place. No, it's got to be San Diego. Southeast San Diego. Okay. Southeast San Diego okay, here it is. Wikipedia, by the way. Refers to the portion of the city of San Diego, excluding South San Diego, and the neighborhood south of State Route 94, Martin Luther King Jr. Freeway, and the east of downtown San Diego. These are 3 official community planning areas: Skyline, Paradise Hills, Encanto neighborhoods, and Southeastern. They call it the Southeast. There's a beautiful mural in Chicano Park. Largely urbanized in the areas nearest downtown San Diego to the west, and characteristically hilly with lower density residential and semi-rural neighborhoods toward the east, it's economically and ethnically diverse. So, okay. Image. Southeast San Diego had long struggled with an image problem plagued by street gangs, drug dealing, assault, and homicide throughout its communities. In 1992, a councilman campaigned against any official designation of the area as Southeast San Diego, since the name labeled the area in an entirely negative light. Okay. Well, then yes, honey. Yes. Okay, so that's what that is, and I didn't know it either. So, I mean, like, I'm from Southern California. I guess maybe it's just like you really have to be in San Diego to like know that. And it's interesting because I think that San Diego, I would not have known that because San Diego feels like a beach community. I think of like the gas lamp district, and they have like really great hospitals. So, God bless. Feels like maybe, yeah, that's what they were saying. So, so let me tell you. So she gets really upset, right? Shaeeda gets really upset, stands up and starts yelling, like, I'm going to change real quick. And it's, I don't think Shaeeda is a bad person. I don't even think that she is like a hostile or aggressive person. Normal life. I just think that, because it's interesting, because in my mind, I'm like, I'm surprised that she even was ever married to Bilal. Like, how did Bilal control that? Because he's so controlling. And that's probably why they're not together anymore. But, yeah, so she starts screaming, and Bilal starts just praying in Arabic, like as if he's like performing some sort of like exorcism, like, and he's praying like with Shaeeda and Shaeeda are like screaming at each other. And Bilal won't say anything because he's in a horrible place where his new wife is like making his ex-wife and his mother of his children like scream at them in public. And I think what he would have appreciated is if Shaeeda had been able to sit in a place of calmness and detach herself from the situation in order to maintain an amount of decorum. But Shaeeda, I think, came at it as, this woman was mean to me. I felt awkward. I sat on it for months. And now I'm here with my husband. And I want to tell you that you can't treat me that way. And you should have come with an apology. And you cannot be in my home and speak to me of that again. But Shaeeda, honey, and her don't mix. And Shaeeda, like, I feel like plays into Shai's trap where makes Shaeeda go a little bananas, and it's not a good look. And Bilal is pissed. So after this, Shaeeda leaves. Bilal just gets up, walks out, and gets into his car, which is, as Lisa would say, a C-class. Also, it's dark outside. So times of which. Shaeeda just has to like be like, okay, we're leaving. She walks out herself. He definitely didn't open a door. He didn't open he's pissed. in this time, when I first watched it, because I didn't have Wa's opinion, I was like, why is he pissed? Is he pissed at her? He later, like, he won't speak at all. And then in his confessional, he's like, I chose not to speak so I wouldn't say anything that I would regret later. And I was like, would he say something that he would regret on camera about his ex-wife? Or is he going to say that he's going to say something that he's going to regret to his new wife, Shy? Mind your own business is ex. This my crib now. No, Bilal is in the place he wants to be in, having women fuss over him. All of should have handle in divorce court. Why isn't it? I don't know. Funny money? Hell no. Too much on the woman. The man created the problem. Yeah, I think that to me, I will be honest about this. Bilal presents himself, right, as the head of the household, right? Like as like old school style, traditional, like like he wants that life. And to me, there should have never been a conversation between Shaeeda and Shai about the prenup. That was between Bilal and his wife. Bilal should have, like, Shaeeda should have never even had to converse with him, because Bilal shared with Shaeeda that Shaeeda was upset about signing the prenup. That was mistake number one. That was his business between Shai and him. Now, Shaeeda, having been giving the previness of that, took it on as her business too, because it was her children's business in her mind. So now she's going to come at Shaeeda with like dukes on, being like, I got to fight for, Bilal gave me like almost the right away to do this by sharing with me such a thing. And now I'm going to like fight up for both accounts. Okay. God bless. I do think Bilal was in the wrong. And I think that if both women respected Bilal, and if Bilal held his place that he wants to be as like the head of the household or whatever, then this conversation would not have happened. Especially the first conversation would have happened, and definitely this conversation would have happened. Bilal would have been the peacekeeper. Yeah, it was a power struggle. Shaders lost all the power. I know it. I feel that way. So I feel that way. I want you to hear Wa's opinion also, and tell me. Did wife number one sign a prenup? Great point. I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say no. I think that he was younger when he married her. I don't think that he signed a prenup. I don't think that he had anything to sign a prenup with, He is such a coward. Yeah. These cat fights are faux haram. Polygamy would be his preference. Great. Okay. Is that it? Wait, is that all my things I said about him? Yeah, I was just really upset that he like got out like a zombie and didn't say anything. It was so awkward, especially because he caused it. And now he's gonna like blame Shy for it, which Bob would, and I want you to see her point. But like I wonder like what he actually thinks about it, and will he take responsibility that like Shaeeda's involved because he involved Shaeeda? That's wife number 2. Shy is his third attempt. Babe, what? Shaeeda was his second wife? He was married a first time? Really? Does anyone else think that? Is that a thing they said? Clearly, Bilal's fake wealth is nouveau riche. Yes. What happened to the first wife? Yes? Kayri is, I think this, yes, you're right. You're co-signing the fact that he's been married. Oh my God, I've heard that too. Oh my God, honey. No, I don't know. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. No. I wonder what she looked like. Was she Muslim? Was her name Shashimi? No, I'm just kidding. Was it a SHY name? Did she look like they all look? He has such a specific type. Okay, wife number 2 has kids by him. Wife number 1 has no kids. Lisa says yes. Honey, yes, he was married. I loathe when exes leverage children like that. Gross. It's just like, the truth of the matter is I want there to be protections for Bilal's kids. They have to. They have like he's going to have to pay for their college and stuff like that. Like he needs money for that. So and he already had, like, he has a responsibility to them. So, I feel so frustrated by Shaeeda. Great. There are pictures online of his first wife. Should I look? Okay, fine. Bilal, first wife. I cannot type at all. Bilal's previous marriages, Screen Rant. Okay, so Bilal is getting married for the third time. Oh my God, you're right. I don't know, a 42-year-old real estate married yoga instructors. Yes. These like Screen Rants want you to we'll just like do a bunch of word salad to get you like to go through or dumb ads to read the whole story. Okay, his first marriage was to a woman named Amira, according to something. Bilal first got married 20 years ago, and the marriage lasted only 16 months, from August 2002 until December 2003, when the divorce was finalized. Bilal and Amira had no children. Amira is a beautiful name. It's very Muslim, though. So yes, she probably was Muslim. Had no children during the less than 2-year marriage, and it seems her split was amicable. Amira purportedly resides in California and has been living there for quite some time. Bilal has yet to reveal what led to the split, but fans of 90 Day think that it's because of his antics and his behaviors. Okay. Bilal needs to protect his kids. None of number two's business. Get your own bank. He can set up a trust fund for his kids and she can't touch that money. Why do they pretend this isn't an option? Absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, I don't think there's a picture they used Shaeeda the one. I agree. There was no picture I saw. But we can make some assertions about just because of her name, which sounds, whatever. But Amira is such a pretty name. Because your girl, me, because I'm Arab, I'm always like, well, what would I name my daughters, or if I have a child, what would I name either one of my children, if it's a girl or a boy? And Christian Lebanese people, a lot of them name their children like French names, because it was like, we're colonized by the French. And so like all my cousins, which you've heard of before, they all have, like, my name is Christine, which is like French, Monique, Nicole, Danielle, Brittany, Noelle, literally. I think it's Christian Arabs, I think, usually, well, not all of them, but they do. They'll name their kids like French names. I love the name Josephine because it has like family relevance. My dad's dad is named Joseph, and I have an uncle named Joseph, and I just think that Josephine is such a pretty name. But I think Amira is a really pretty name. I've also tried to think of like Arabic names, which are just like Arabic names, and Amira would definitely be a beautiful one. Where's Wa? Wa, my love Wa's at her house, But having I said this, Yuli, if you want to see Wa and I talk about this episode, you can. It's on Patreon right now. And if you don't want to spend $10 a month to join, I get it. Don't worry. We will drop what we thought of this episode together as we do it in real time on our podcast later. So coming up. I love Josephine too. Thanks, Karen. I think Amira is a really pretty name. I think that one time I dated a guy named Basil. I thought that was nice. And which is like basil. You could also say basil. And Seamus or Shamus. Shamus would be like how you like Shamus, I guess, an American version. But the funny thing is, it sounds just like Seamus to me, which is like an Irish name, which I love Seamus. Anyway. Oh, girl, I love Yara podcast. You're a great duo. Thanks, Boo. We're going to have this episode quick for you. So that's all I have to say about this episode. I won't talk about Ed. So if you came late in the situation, this is the last couple I'll be talking about because I will never talk about Ed. And we don't have Angela and Michael yet. And I probably will talk about Angela and Michael. And listen, I can't draw a line that like makes sense for everyone, but I'll just draw that line because I know that Angela is abusive, but at least Angela and Michael are a American couple and a foreign couple. No, wait, American person and a foreign person, which is the dictionary definition of the show. Okay, so the podcast Docu-Sweeties, I was trying to think of like what to do a little jingle for, right? And if you hear it, it's like We're your docs. Doc you sweeties, or whatever it is. And that is basically, and I hope I don't get sued for this, the song that was the theme song for a Nickelodeon show on in the 90s that was called What Would You Do? It was like a game show. I don't even know. I don't really remember exactly what it was. But I think I don't even know if Mark Summers did it. Like I just remember the theme song, which was what da 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 would da 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 you do da 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 you do. I just turned it into Docu Sweeties. No one, I don't think it's just a weird small reference. But yeah, it's the What Would You Do song from the Nickelodeon show What Would You Do? And just that I don't know why I don't know why that theme song always like lived rent free in my head for 30 years, baby boos, until I later on was like, da 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 you da 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 sweet da 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 sweeties. And then I just tried to like give it a little run in the beginning to make it somewhat different. So that's why it's like, we're your ducks. So anyway, that's what that was. By the way, it took me 2 seconds to make that. I can't believe it. I mean, you don't need a studio, Libby. You just need like a garage band, babe. It was really fun. Like I'm not like I don't like lay down tracks, but like it was really fun to do because I just like had wah. I would like do a track and then layer tracks on top and be like, wow, now you try this. It was actually very fun to the point where like if I ever could, like be an artist that like gets to create multiple contents of different forms, I actually think that I would really enjoy producing a song. It's cool because you're like, I don't know, you can just like play something and then hear like what would be like a staccato moment that would happen like between music tones. Like so staccato would be like things that are like and like legato would be like so like having to like meld different sounds and like what could be in a certain place is very fun. I thought it was a play on words for docu-series. It is. Docu-Sweeties is docu-series, but the song is me just having ripped off a song from Nickelodeon show. I know the show, but not the song. It was with that something like Cojonius. I'm not quite sure. John Coronius? Is that the name of the person? I don't know. Baked potatoes, $3.75 or $400. Are you roasting them? I think if you're baking a whole potato, $3.75. If you're roasting a sheet pan of potatoes, like and you want them to be like crispy and $400. Oh, Rasta, your voices sound beautifully harmonized. Thank you. You should review Inmate to Roommate. No, okay, yeah. Someone just said this. So okay, wait. Inmate to Roommate is what? A Matt Sharp show that's on a different network? Is it Matt Sharp? Is it on different? It's like, is it on like AMC or something? Makes me want to touch feet like Dan Schneider. Ooh. Or Quentin Tarantino. Okay, my loves. I'm going to go because what I did domestically is I defund Matt Sharp. We also need him. What a horrible life we live. It's a push and pull. It's push and pull. I decided to clean out my entire refrigerator, but then I ran out of time, which is why I was 4 minutes late. And so all of the food is just sitting outside on the counter. But the refrigerator is pristine, and I had to go put it all back. I also am dumb. So, yeah, I have to go on a work trip. I leave tomorrow, and I forgot, and I just like bought a bunch of like crudité because I like want to like. It's so hot that I was like, I'm just gonna so much enjoy just like having cut up vegetables and like yummy dressings. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm leaving tomorrow. It's all gonna go bad. So I have to like cut it up and put it into like water and hope that it'll be there for a week. Anyway, he was the host. Maybe it's a different one. Oh gosh, my loves. Let me see. What would you do? The American situational Huh. Hidden Camera. No, it was on Nickelodeon. It's still on? No. Wait, there must be you know what? What would you do? Okay, there must be two shows. What would you do? Nickelodeon. This was absolutely a kid show. Okay, so here's the graphic for it. Like it's 90s. This is like SNCC. This is like a certain time in our life that obviously is my time. This says it was a game show in 1991 with 2 seasons, and it was hosted by Mark Summers. It was, and then they went on to do Double Dare and like whatever. Yeah, it must have been a precursor to the thing. Okay, here's listen to the song.
Hi, I'm Mark Summers, and this is What Would You Do? A good crowd we have, as always, at the Nick Studios. This is the show that takes people and puts them into totally wild situations to see some creep.
Okay, no, I want the song. I also don't want to play anything that's like make me not be able to monetize my video. What would you do, Nickelodeon videos? Theme song. Holy shit. Okay, this is it, babes. Oh yeah. This part.
What would you do?
Okay, so there. If I can't monetize this video for that, that's fine. I care about my connection with you more than anything. Just to go make what, $2? And yeah, that is absolutely where I got that from. I just stole it. Is that bad? Listen, if I get sued, I'm sorry. If I get sued, I'm just gonna have to like make up a new whatever verbatim thing and then just like put it to this DocuSweeties. However, can you believe I did get sued? Like, who would I get sued by? Also, like, that would mean that the podcast had gotten enough views that someone had heard it and then sent it to a lawyer or something. Don't do that to me, okay? I love you guys so much. My kid Jacob played What Would You Do at Disney at Nickelodeon show. My kid played What Would You Do at Disney at Nickelodeon show? What? Sounds like Bop and Amanda Bynes' intro show mixed up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, very specific. I love you guys again so much. I'm going to go back and like put all my stuff in the refrigerator and like try and cut up a bunch of crudité and put it in cold water and make it last for like a week. Is that gross? I think it's fine. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being along this journey with me. Thank you for liking this video. I'm so sorry that I like had technical difficulties. It's actually never happened before, like what had happened, which was super annoying. But please like that video. Please like the video. Please comment after it's up. Help me with some engagement, and I'll comment back. I've already plugged it a billion times, but yes, DocuSweeties, this episode will drop. Patreon already exists right now. You're welcome to join patreon.com/DocuSweeties. It's $10 a month, and you will get all the Army like 3 episodes of House of Hammer are on there right now. The Love After Lockup we shot on Friday, and the HEA we shot yesterday. So like, there's a lot of content. It's worth it if you are into WA and or me and or reality shows. I think all across the board. And once we get more Patreons, we can do special lives for Patreons only, which we're excited to do. Okay, my loves. I appreciate you. I love you so much. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Chris L. Farah. The L is for Lebanese. If you want to Venmo me, I don't know. You don't have to, but that's always there for you as well. It's Chris Farah. Thank you to my mods. Thank you for so much everyone here that's just spending time with me for like an hour and a half commenting. And, I just, I love you guys so much. And I really, really appreciate it. Let's do our breath. You would owe Dan Schneider a foot rub. Lisa, let me tell you something about me. Men love my feet across the board. if I wear an open-toed shoe, like inevitably some man will say something like, I love your shoes. And what I know that means to be is like, and if he's not gay, I know that means to mean that he like wants my toes in his mouth. I don't know why. I have like great feet. Now I think they're huge. They're like Fred Flintstone feet, but I have long toes, and for some foot fetish people, it's very in. What a great thing to end on. Let's take a breath. When we take a breath, listen, it's Labor Day. It's Labor Day. It's a holiday. It's the end of summer. It is hot everywhere you go, but I think it's nice to have a moment in the present and where we understand the changing of the seasons, that we evolve and time is always changing. And there's routine and tradition that come, and within that, the duality of the expectation of a season and the fact that things change all the time, but things are cyclical and come back as well. It's like a beautiful metaphor for life. And I want you to take a moment and pamper yourselves. Don't work too hard today. Do something that, that makes you feel taken care of. So I think a deep breath is a very small step for that, but let's do it anyway, shall we? We can blow out any like negative frustrations we have. We can blow out work problems or labor problems. If you are someone who has a hard labor, like Sumit's mom. I forgot to say that. Sumit's mom being like, Sumit has always pained me. I had a horrible labor with him. No, it was bad. He ripped my vagina apart, and he is still now ripping my soul and heart apart, I mean, talk about a Labor Day, honey. Poor thing. So what did Sumit do to his mom? Anyway, also, it's incredibly emotionally manipulative to blame a baby for like their birth. That woman's bananas. Okay. Let it go, Chris. Let it go. Let it go. So let's breathe it out and suck it in. Breathe it out. I need one more. One more time. I love you all. Take care of yourselves, like I said, and one another. You don't have to drive 3 hours to take care of someone else, but make sure that, people are feeling valued and feeling not alone. Take care of yourselves, one another, stand up for what you believe, and make art. And maybe that art is literally you hijacking a 1990s Nickelodeon song and changing the words, laying down a beat, babe, and making some art. I love you guys so much. Again, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing if you haven't yet. I will see you later. Bye.